Welcome to the Mac and Fish podcast. We have a special edition, state championship series that we're inviting the top coaches from each program onto our podcast to talk about the state championships. And this segment is going to be with Coach Dameon Jones of Chaminade-Madonna High School. Welcome. This is the Mac and Fish podcast. We're our flying solo today as Coach Mac is on the bench. Today we're going to be featuring one of the great young coaches. I still consider you young, Coach, not only in Broward County, but the nation. Coach Dameon Jones of Chaminade-Madonna High School. Coach Jones is someone that I believe I've been in the business 15 years, and we've known each other about that amount of time. And we've kind of grown up together in the business. You know, I was a rookie in this business, and coaches like you, I learned on the spot of how to, deal with coaches on a one-on-one basis. And you've always been great to me, and I consider you a great friend. And, I love that my friends have success, and you've had a ton of it at Chaminade, and, continue success. I wish you the best, Coach. And you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Here we go, man. You've won 3 state titles now, going on 4. Have you gotten a chance to soak that in and realize what a great accomplishment that's been?
I get asked that question a lot. I haven't. I don't know if I'm always just trying to do better. I'm not sure. I just kind of overanalyze things, but it hasn't soaked in. I don't even. It doesn't feel like 3 or possible 4. Blessed. I'm just thankful to be able to go. Kind of weird all together. So I'm blessed.
No question. Coach Mark Wandolo had a great success at Chaminade. He won, I believe, 2 or 3 state titles at Chaminade. You're now going on 4. Did you ever think when you took over there that you would have that same type of success and that it was possible to have that same type of success?
I was just trying not to mess it up. No, I knew Chaminade was a gold mine. I knew the possibilities of it. But did I see it coming? Did I know it was going to happen? No, I didn't. My goal was just to work my tail off to try to get to 1 and try to win 1. So I didn't see all this fruition coming to the forefront beforehand. No, I did not at all.
You look at some of the teams you guys play. American Heritage Plantation, you played Bishop Rowe, you played Chaminade. 2 of these 4 teams are going to be playing in the state finals. You guys have played pretty much anybody down here that's willing to take your phone call. You guys have never been afraid to play anybody. How much of an impact does it have on your team playing these great teams? It helps you with your overall success once the playoffs start. Do the playoffs actually seem easier at times than the regular season because of how tough your schedule is?
At times it does. And the reason, for playing those type of games are just to see, where you're at. You don't get anything by beating somebody 45 zip and not getting pushed to the limit. You play the best to see how good you are. And I kind of learned that early at Hollandale. Just kind of that my last year there, St. Thomas was the big dog, and I wanted to play him. Nobody wanted to play. Rocky was having a hard time getting people to sign up and wanted to put St. Thomas on the schedule, and I volunteered. Just not to say we're going to take down the big bad wolf, but, we had all those guys, Zach Moss and Tyler Huntley, Josh Hammond, all those guys that are now in the NFL. I just wanted to know how good we were. And, we almost beat St. Thomas down to the wire, came down to the last play of the game. And, I was like, okay, we not too far off, and I learned right then, man, to iron sharpens iron, and if you want to be tough in this game, especially in South Florida, because South Florida football probably is, 1 or 2 best in the country, let me tell it. If you're trying to survive down here, you got to play the best. and don't be scared to lose a game. Don't be scared to get your butt whooped, because that comes with the territory, but it'll pay off later.
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches that would rather just pad their schedule, go 10-0. It looks great on their overall record. You never seem to be one, like I said, if you go 5-5 but you win a state championship at the end of the year, that's the ultimate goal. Like it's not that important during the regular season. Hey, everybody wants to win every game, but it's not the most important thing, because your kids learn so much from losses and what that does. Can you just expound on some of that?
Absolutely. Because guess what? You go 5-5 and you win a state title. Nobody remembers that you were 5-5. They remember that state title. So I don't know. I'm just not one of those guys that just play easy games and say we went undefeated. Because I've been coaching 15 years now. I've never had an undefeated season, and not looking for one. That's not one of the goals or to-dos on my checklist. I just like playing tough games and seeing how battle tested your ball club is. And guess what? You go through battles early, then you know how to withstand those battles later on in the season, man. So I've learned that, and now since I've been talking about it a while, a lot of other people are starting to take that same approach.
There's no doubt you're starting to see that more and more. Like teams are like, hey, listen, it's basically about getting your teams prepared for that run in the playoffs. But, we've talked about the titles. The one thing that's different is each of these teams that you've coached to state titles have done it different ways. You had teams that were really good at passing the football. You've had really good rushing attacks with Sean Shivers. You still have a good running attack with Coach, Thad Franklin. But this year's team is really, really good on the defensive side of the ball. What can you tell us about these different styles that you've won with? And, you've been able to adapt each year. How have you been able to do that to continue the success?
I mean, I think that's one process of evaluating yourself on being a good coach. I'm not going to ever say I'm a great coach or whatever, but that's for other people to decide, but one of my things is you have to adapt to what you have. It's like being a chef in the kitchen. You're only as good as what you go to the grocery store and shop and get. So I mean, every year it all depends on what you're doing. And again, like defense has been one of the main things every year. We've always had a top defense every year. But offensively, you're right. Some years it's run, some years it's pass, some years it's been both. And this year is one of the years that it's been both, and that's kind of the game plan every year for it to be both. But sometimes it don't work out that way. So you just have to adapt to what your strengths are.
Thad Franklin, how good of a back is he? How does he compare to other great backs you've had like Zach Moss and Sean Shivers?
Like I said, those guys are tremendous backs, and Thad, has the same kind of tools that those guys have. But he's special just because of the added size, being able to do what smaller backs do with his vision, and just kind of being kind of finesse back. So I'm real anxious to see what he does at the next level, just because he brings, both sides, when it comes to being an every down back. He can catch the ball out the backfield. He can be that edge block on the edge, and he can run in between tackles and outside tackles. So I'm curious to see, what he does at the next level, man. But I've been fortunate to have coached all three of those guys, and all three of those guys have been tremendous.
We talked about it before. You're now going to your fourth straight title game, or you've been to 4 title games in a row, I believe. Does it seem like only winning championships now is considered a success, or do you feel like just getting through this year with everything you've gone through, that no matter what happens, it's been a success?
Well, it's the 5th year, Fish.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I mean, everybody at the beginning of the season, Fish, that's the goal. Hey, make it to the state, championship. That's the goal. That's what everybody plays for at the beginning of the year. And you just hope, at the end of the year, that's where you're at. But I don't know. I think this year's just been a whirlwind just because of everything that's going on with, the pandemic and COVID. It's a little different, very, very much so different. So this year's been a little crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to build young men and trying to set guys up for the next tier of their life when they, either come for college or the service or the workforce, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to set young men up to become men where they're, good people in this world, for society.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Coach. I wanted to get you on today, and I look forward to working with you again next year. But good luck up in Tallahassee. I'm gonna try to get up there to film the game for you. I always like taking care of you, but like I said, I wish nothing but the best for you and your program, and I look forward to talking to you after you bring another trophy back from Tallahassee this year. All right.
Hey, God willing, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
One last thing is we like to always ask our guests, are there ways for people to follow Chaminade football, whether it's social media on, whether it's Twitter or Facebook? Do you have any Twitter account that people can follow you?
Yeah, it's on Twitter is at Nod Boys or CM underline sports, either or, where they can follow up on Chaminade football and watch different movements.
Well, you take it easy, Coach, and have a safe trip up there and bring back another state title for South Florida.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Will do.
All right, man. Great speaking to you.
Thanks.
Bye.